Good morning. Just to recap a little bit before we go into the arrest, on Sunday evening at 9:10 p.m., Gwinnett County 911 received a call of a person shot at the Walmart at 4004 Lawrenceville Highway here in Lilburn. Lilburn Police and Gwinnett County Fire responded, and we found that one of the loss prevention officers had been shot by a shoplifting suspect during a confrontation as that person tried to flee the store with some stolen televisions. Subsequent to that shooting, we learned that Mr. JD Ferguson had passed as a result of that gunshot wound. We had very sketchy information as to the shooter, other than his race, his gender, and a vehicle description. We did have some video of him in the store. We did have some still photographs pulled from that. We put those out through the media and some social media, and we got a tremendous number of responses. As it turned out, we've got a couple of Crime Stoppers tips, one specifically naming the suspect, Boaz Fordyce. Based on that, we were able to start doing some research and some background. By 1 a.m. on Tuesday morning, we actually had a warrant for Mr. Boaz Fordyce for felony murder, aggravated assault, and theft by shoplifting. It took us a little while. We thought we'd gotten information that he may have actually fled to New York City, where he is from. Turned out that he did not. We didn't know that at the time. Our investigators were following some leads that they received and some follow-up that they were doing, and they wound up in unincorporated DeKalb County in the Doraville section. While they were there, they realized that Mr. Fordyce was actually a few doors away in another business that they were looking into. They called DeKalb County Police, who responded, and with DeKalb County Police, our investigators were able to take Fordyce into custody without any incident. He was brought here to the City of Lilburn Police Department. There was an interview. Unfortunately, I'm not at liberty to say a whole lot about that, but we were able to then subsequently serve a number of search warrants at some residences, and we were able to gather additional information and some additional evidence that we are confident will tie Mr. Fordyce to the shooting and to the theft at the Walmart. Now, because the DA's office is leading this investigation at this point, it's their case now. We've turned everything over to them. They've asked us to be minimal in what we say with regards to the evidence. This afternoon at 1:30 at the Gwinnett County Jail, Fordyce will have a first appearance hearing. There probably won't be any evidence spoken about. It'll be a point in time where the judge tells him what he's charged with, and after he's told what he's charged with, he'll be appointed an attorney if he doesn't already have one. He will have a probable cause hearing date and time set at that hearing. At that hearing, at the probable cause hearing, the district attorney's office will be prepared to allow information regarding the evidence that we've since recovered to be spoken about.
What business was Mr. Boaz at, and what was he doing there?
I'm not sure what he is doing currently. I know just from the little bit that I've spoken to my investigators that he has been moving around from employment to employment. What he was doing at the Walmart, as far as we know, is he was there to steal TVs. I don't think he was there to do anything else.
But the business he was apprehended in, that he was in when he was apprehended, Mr. Fordyce?
Because of the investigation, I can't tell you where he was. I'm pretty sure you'll hear that on when he has a probable cause hearing. They just asked us not to discuss that yet.
But was he at work?
He was not at work. He was in the He was at a business, trying to conduct business. If I put it that way. So it was a legal business. He wasn't doing anything illegal, but he was at a legal business, conducting business. We're just because of the investigation, we were asked not to say.
I understand you can't get into discussions with them or lack thereof,
right.
But have you got any insight into why the shooting occurred? Why?
No, unfortunately not. We speculated previously prior to his arrest why might somebody use deadly force to defend or to stop an arrest for what is in the grand scheme of things a fairly minor crime. But based on the conversations that we've had with him, we are no closer to figuring out why than we were when we started this.
Does he have any kind of criminal record?
Very minimal criminal record. Yeah, there's almost nothing as far as a criminal record. Again, somebody who does something this extreme for such a relatively minor crime, you would think maybe they're facing a bunch of jail time because they've got a long criminal history. That's not the case here. We're really not quite sure why he would choose to shoot somebody over this crime.
What kind of items are on
what kind of items?
I know that he has a military desertion, and I'm not positive, but I think he had some kind of minor drug possession charge that may have even been dismissed. There wasn't a lot.
Talk about these tips that came in. Were a lot of them fairly close to him, or was it just one that basically put it on the trail?
There was one or two that put him right on it. We literally received over 100 tips. We had everything from the one specifically that named him, said, it is this person, this is how I know it's this person, to car dealers and auto mechanics saying, I think this is what kind of car that is, to people who said, I had a guy approach me a couple weeks ago who offered me brand new televisions in a sealed box, and this is what I know about him. Or I saw a guy hanging out, said he was homeless at this area. Check this out. We actually were working with a number of local jurisdictions who supposedly went out and met with these people or person. This particular one was on Pleasant Hill Road. Now, it wasn't this man, but we were getting all sorts. We got calls from Statesboro. We got calls from all around the state from people saying, I think this is who this is. So the outpouring of information was just tremendous. We had much more than we needed. A lot of it was not accurate to this case, but it didn't matter because we never know which piece of information is going to be the piece of information that we need that's going to turn us into this. And the Crime Stoppers tip was the one that was really the one that opened the door.
Anybody else you believe involved in any aiding him after the fact?
We do believe that he did have conversations with people after the fact. Not a lot of people. Those are some of the people that we had to get to an interview before we made it known that he was arrested, so we kind of caught them off guard. So yeah, we do know that there were some people he has spoken to, and we have in fact spoken to them, and whether or not they gave us any information will be revealed at the probable cause hearing, I'm sure.
Might they face charges in relation to this case?
I don't see that they're, personally, at this point, and I'm not the one to make the final decision, but at this point I don't see that the people we interviewed about the incident after the fact did anything that would cause them to be criminally liable for anything.
And do you suspect that he could be involved in other thefts? I think at one point you got some tips saying that maybe he was involved in other thefts in the area. Do you think that's still true?
The people at Walmart that we spoke to the night of the shooting did think that he might have been involved in some other thefts at some of their other stores in the area. Now, they still have to go back and look at some of their videotapes and surveillance to see if, in fact, that's true. They thought, but at this point, I haven't heard anything that's been confirmed.
So specifically to Walmart, but not any other businesses around there?
Yeah, well, I'm not familiar with any other businesses coming forward and saying, hey, we think this guy stole anything from us.
Talk about his ties to the community. Does he have family here? If so,
I don't know. He's got friends in the community. My understanding is his family is from the New York area, Brooklyn, New York City area. That's all I really know about his ties to the community.
did he know the victims?
No, he did. There's no indication that he knew who the victim was at all.
Recover the gun and or the stolen merchandise?
The stolen merchandise was left in the store. Once he was stopped at the door going out, and the confrontation took place, and he shot Mr. Ferguson. He left everything that he had stolen and just ran out the door, got in his car, and fled. I'm not at liberty to talk about whether or not we recovered the pistol or not.
You indicated that you searched more than one residence in connection with this case. Are those various places he lived, people who knew him?
There were places where he had stayed. He had been staying in some extended stay type residences, so commercial residences in the immediate past.
Is that here or?
It was actually in the DeKalb County area, but not too far from Gwinnett.
Just to clarify, you said he spoke with people after the crime about the crime?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Our investigation indicates at least one, maybe more.
So once you narrowed down your focus as to who your suspect was most of your investigation focused on the DeKalb County area as far as residences, businesses?
It was Gwinnett and DeKalb where the information led us.
Do you have any rough idea when the Crime Stoppers tip that specifically named him, how far along that came in?
I believe it came in Monday morning. Yes.
And so I guess that person's going to receive the reward?
They would. The way it works, they are assigned an anonymous number. The whole thing is assigned anonymously. We respond back to Crime Stoppers and say that the person on this tip did in fact provide us with accurate information. and then that's all handled by Crime Stoppers. We never do anything else.
You know what the reward was?
It starts out at $2,000, and then if there are any persons or corporations that groups just want to add money to a particular crime, they may, or a reward, excuse me. I did get a couple of emails, I guess it was yesterday, that said, hey, we would really like to donate some money to a reward to capture this person. What do we do? I direct them to the Crime Stoppers Atlanta, and just what they'll do is, again, they'll call up, say, I would like to give money to this particular case. They accept the money and they add it to that. But the Crime Stoppers always starts out with at least $2,000.
Were y'all surprised that the surveillance footage was pretty grainy? Were y'all surprised at the amount of response that y'all got?
Yes and no. It was great that people came out of, because some of the, as I said, some of the callbacks we received were not necessarily to the person saying, I know who it is. We only had one of those. But a lot of them were, something like this happened to me. I think I know what kind of car this is. A guy tried to sell me this, which was very good. Yes, the videos were grainy, or the pictures were grainy. We pulled those off of videos. They were stills from a video. I think the video, when it went out, when we isolate the video of Fordyce walking into the store, that was actually pretty clear. And I think a lot of people were able to look at that and say, okay, I think I know who this is. When a person walks and moves, everybody has a certain walk and a gait to them, and that people actually look at people like that and say, okay, I know who that is. And that may have been what broke it, I'm not sure.
That's what I was going to ask. Do you know that person that called in that tip, did they see the video and know him?
That I don't know. See, I have no way of knowing that, because we just get the tip that says, this person said this is what the information is. And then, again, we can't just act on that. We actually have to investigate that. We have to start moving forward and verify the information that they're giving us.
How much of a struggle was there
Before the gunshot? I can just tell you that they were trying to detain him, and that he pulled a pistol out of his waistband area and fired one round that we know of into the victim.
You may have said it. What was his response when you guys walked into that business?
That I don't know. I wasn't there, and I didn't ask my investigators what that was. That's it? All right. Thanks, guys.